Hey there, adventurers! Welcome back to another episode of Pack Fast and Fly Far. If you've been following along, you know that we've been traveling across the United States, discovering some of the most jaw-dropping landmarks that make this country so unique. But here's the thing, there's a whole world of lesser-known destinations that will leave you absolutely speechless. So, buckle up because episode 10 is packed with hidden gems you definitely need to see before they get too crowded. From ancient mounds to quirky road trip attractions, this episode has it all. Let's dive in. Let's face it, when we think of must-see landmarks in the US, our minds automatically go to the big names: the Grand Canyon, the Statue of Liberty, Yellowstone. And while those are undeniably incredible spots, there's a whole other side to America's beauty that doesn't always make the top of the list. The problem is, we're missing out on so much. The United States is a vast country, and there's so much more to explore beyond the typical tourist traps. Many places are not on the typical top 10 lists or don't get the recognition they deserve, despite offering some of the most awe-inspiring views, unique history, and unforgettable experiences. So, how do we find these hidden gems? How do we make sure that when we plan our next trip, we're not just hitting the usual spots? That's where this list comes in. 10 lesser-known, but no less amazing, places that deserve a spot on your must-visit list. The solution is simple. Get out there and explore places you wouldn't normally think to visit. Every state has its own collection of historic, natural, and quirky landmarks that showcase the diversity and richness of the US. These landmarks don't always have the crowds, the gift shops, or the overpriced tour, but they have the soul. They have the kind of magic that only happens when you step off the beaten path. So, get your camera ready and your hiking boots on, because we're about to explore 10 of the most amazing landmarks in the United States that most people don't even know about. Place 91, Cahokia Mounds, Illinois. Let's start in Illinois with a truly underrated treasure, Cahokia Mounds. Cahokia was the largest pre-Columbian settlement north of Mexico, a bustling city built by the Mississippian people, known for their advanced culture and engineering feats. The city covered 6 square miles and had a population of over 20,000 at its peak. One of its most impressive features is Monk's Mound, the largest earthen structure in North America. You can climb to the top of Monk's Mound for a stunning view of the surrounding landscape. Travel tip: make sure to visit the Cahokia Mounds Interpretive Center. It's packed with information that will blow your mind, helping you understand the history of this incredible site. It's a peaceful place to learn about a civilization that was flourishing long before European settlers arrived. Place 92, Mackinac Island, Michigan. Next, let's head to the charming Mackinac Island in Michigan. This tiny island is one of the most unique destinations you can visit in the United States. The island is car-free, yep. No cars are allowed. Instead, you'll find horse-drawn carriages, bikes, and plenty of charming, old-world buildings that feel like they belong in the 1800s. Mackinac Island is known for its stunning Victorian architecture, scenic views, and famous Mackinac Island fudge. Trust me, you won't leave without tasting a piece. Travel tip: visit in the summer for the best weather, or head there in the fall when the crowds are smaller and the island is just as beautiful with its autumn colors. The island's arch rock offers one of the best photo ops, so don't miss it. Place 93, Newport Mansions, Rhode Island. Moving on, we're heading to the coastal town of Newport, Rhode Island to explore the Newport Mansions. These summer homes of Gilded Age industrialists are a glimpse into a time of extreme wealth and excess. The Breakers, owned by the Vanderbilts, is the grandest of them all, featuring grand marble halls, ornate ceilings, and magnificent gardens. Travel tip: don't just visit the most famous mansion. Check out Marble House and the Elms for a different perspective. And if you're in town during the holidays, Newport's mansions are decked out in incredible holiday decorations, making it a magical experience. Place 94, Pu'uloa Petroglyphs, Hawaii. Next, we're flying out to the tropical paradise of Hawaii, specifically Puloa petroglyphs on the Big Island. This site is an open-air gallery of over 23,000 ancient petroglyphs etched into the lava rock. These carvings were created by Hawaiians over 1,000 years ago and depict everything from animals to human figures. The petroglyphs provide a fascinating glimpse into the culture of Hawaii before Western influence. Travel tip: the trail to the petroglyphs is about 0.7 miles long and relatively easy. But make sure to bring sturdy shoes, plenty of water, and some sunscreen because the lava fields can get pretty hot. Place 95, the Corn Palace, South Dakota. Okay, now let's talk about one of the most unique and downright fun places you'll ever visit. The Corn Palace in Mitchell, South Dakota. The Corn Palace is a building decorated entirely with corn and other grains. Every year, the exterior is redesigned with intricate murals, all made out of colorful corn. It's a sight to see and it's completely free to visit. Travel tip: try to visit during the Corn Palace Festival in August. The whole town comes alive with music, carnival rides, and, of course, everything corn-related. Place 96, Apostle Islands National Lakeshore, Wisconsin. For something a little more natural, let's talk about Apostle Islands National Lakeshore in Wisconsin. Located on the shores of Lake Superior, the islands in this park are home to some of the best sea caves in the world. Travel tip: the sea caves are most accessible by kayak and they're absolutely stunning. If you visit in the winter, you might be lucky enough to catch a glimpse of the famous ice caves along the shores. Place 97, the Franklin Institute, Pennsylvania. In Philadelphia, the Franklin Institute is one of the country's oldest and most respected science museums. It's packed with interactive exhibits that make science come alive. From walking through a giant heart to seeing the latest advancements in space exploration, there's something here for everyone. Travel tip: don't miss the Fells Planetarium for some out-of-this-world shows, and be sure to check out the giant walk-through brain. It's one of the coolest exhibits you'll ever see. Place 98, Dinosaur Valley State Park, Texas. Next up, we're heading to Dinosaur Valley State Park in Glen Rose, Texas. Here's the deal. This park is home to some of the most well-preserved dinosaur tracks in the world, left behind millions of years ago in the bed of the Paluxy River. You can actually walk in the footsteps of dinosaurs. How cool is that? Travel tip: if you're visiting in the summer, be prepared for heat and be sure to check the river levels before you go because they can affect how visible the tracks are. Place 99, the Mall of America, Minnesota. Okay, let's switch gears for a bit and visit the Mall of America in Bloomington, Minnesota. It's the largest mall in the United States, and it's a destination in itself. With over 500 stores, an indoor theme park, Nickelodeon Universe, an aquarium, and a variety of dining options, there's no shortage of things to do here. Travel tip: be sure to bring comfortable shoes. You'll be walking a lot. Also, plan ahead for parking because it can get crowded, especially on weekends. Place 100, Alcatraz Island, California. And finally, let's talk about Alcatraz Island in San Francisco, California. This former prison is one of the most famous landmarks in the US, and it's a must-see for history buffs. Travel tip: the island is best visited with a guided audio tour that takes you through the former cells, mess hall, and isolation blocks. The views of San Francisco Bay and the Golden Gate Bridge are absolutely incredible, so don't forget your camera. And there you have it, folks, our final episode of the 100 American Landmarks series. From prehistoric petroglyphs to modern-day marvels, we've explored some of the most unique and unforgettable places in the U.S. I hope this series has inspired you to start planning your next adventure. But before you go, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment telling us which landmark you'd love to visit next. And remember, the world is out there waiting for you to explore. Until next time, happy travels. #Unforgetablusa.